I could kill you right now if I wanted to.
But you won't. But you won't.
Do you know why I won't? Because I'm leaving this prison in a...
Stop
it now! Stop it! I'm on 2 hearts. Look at me, alright? The only reason I'm not is because I know you're in this prison. And I'm gonna get my little scooter out and I'll be fine, Dream. You're stuck in here forever. I don't think this revive book is real. Schlatt, he's f***ing dead. I've seen his grave. His grave is real. His corpse is there.
Okay.
Alright?
Why don't you go see him?
No, stop it!
Everyone's a winner, we're making our fame. Bonafide hustler, making my name. All I wanna do is take your money. All I wanna do is take your money. All I wanna do is take your money. All I wanna do is take your money.
This is Karl Jacobs. Karl is a YouTuber and Twitch streamer who works with Mr. Beast and plays and streams live on the Dream SMP. He joined the SMP back in late August 2020. Most people might think that Karl doesn't play a character on the SMP and might say that he doesn't care about the plot, but I'm here to prove them wrong. This video is about Karl Jacobs' unknown character arc. The lore on the Dream SMP is complicated. It's full of backstabbers and explosives, arguments and exiles, but what you might not know is that Karl also plays an important role in all of it. In this video, I'll be going over Karl's character on the SMP in detail, and at the end I'll follow it up with the way that Karl can improve his character by a lore standpoint. Karl has a slight validation issue and also has major FOMO. On the day Karl joined the SMP, he asked Tommy if he could join L'Manberg. Tommy said no, and I think this event is what started the validation spiral. The need for validation also ties into him openly switching sides during conflicts. During the Manberg vs. Pogtopia war, Karl openly sided with Schlatt in the beginning. He did this because before the war, he turned over his nation, Rutabagoville, to Schlatt and Dream in exchange for armor and other items, which didn't really help him in the long run.
I can't even see the firework animation.
But he didn't make this information public though. Nikki, who was a part of Rutabagoville, was also openly with Pogtopia, and Karl didn't tell her until the war started.
You sold your own nation to L'Manberg.
Hey Nikki, you look very pretty right now.
Thank you.
Join Manberg.
No!
When Nikki found out that Karl turned over the land to Schlatt, her biggest enemy, she was very disappointed in him, and she sided with Pogtopia, leaving Karl and Sapnap to fight on Schlatt's side with Puns and Dream. During the war, Karl tried to convince his friends to join him by giving them gifts.
Why? Am I being baited?
No. Look at this shield. Tell me that's a bad guy shield.
Wait.
That looks like a bad. That looks really sinister.
These gifts were shields with a Manberg battle flag on them. This tactic didn't convince any of his friends though, because most of the friends threw them into lava. He spoke to Quackity before the war and talked about how he wouldn't betray him, but then he did.
Buddy over there. But hey, you can always trust where my positioning is.
Where is your positioning?
I'm true to Manberg right now. I mean, take a look at Manberg. Look how beautiful it looks right now. It's never been more beautiful. They let us build what we want. We're all happy. Unification. I mean, have you ever seen people this happy? Listen, you guys are all worried about who you can trust. You accidentally DM me saying you can't trust anybody. I'm telling you, I, on my side, can trust every single person that's on my team. I'll tell you that much. Yeah.
Would you ever betray me, Karl?
No. I wouldn't.
How do I know that?
And you know that. Deep down, you already know that. Deep down, you know I wouldn't betray you, Quackity.
This speech could have been foreshadowing his character, then siding with Quackity after the war, and helping him with El Rapids, or I just put 2 and 2 together. After the war, Karl joined L'Manberg's cabinet with no complaints. He made himself creative director and vice president and oversaw the building of new L'Manberg in Party Park. But when Tommy started to stir up trouble, Karl found himself left out of important cabinet meetings with Quackity, Fundy, and Tubbo. Karl explained to Nikki that he chose to switch sides during the war because he felt left out.
Remember why I was on Schlatt's side.
Why were you on Schlatt's side? You
It's
said
because,
you were on his
It's because
side
I didn't feel welcome.
Yeah, they don't make you feel welcome.
And now, I mean, I'm vice president, and they won't even let me in the meetings anymore.
Him not being taken seriously can contribute to his goofy personality. The lack of respect leads to him to act impulsive, like when he persuaded George to burn down Lemantry. Even during the argument with Dream, Karl was shut down by him and wasn't allowed to talk. Karl is also a very big yes man. He follows his friends and does anything they say. He's a great companion and tour guide, and overall is a very friendly presence to be around. He's willing to give away his canon lives for his friends, as seen on the stream where they frame Eric for killing him. This adds to his character flip-flopping sides because he wants to be a people pleaser. He really has no enemies on the SMP as well. Now onto material items, since the big aspect of the SMP. He has Honk, his first diamond found on the SMP, a couple of pets like Bogey, Hut, Socks, Rutabaga, and some llamas, but he also has Party Park and Party Island. He cares about Party Island a lot. When Techno set up the Withers, he only started to help kill the Withers after Party Island was blown up.
As long as Party Island is safe, we're okay. What happened to the... What happened?
Now, this is the part of the video where I make slight tweaks to Karl's character. I feel like Karl would actually make a great villain. I feel like if he dropped the friendly persona and turned into a really bitter character, people would be more invested. Here's my idea for Karl's character. Karl finds himself alone after being excluded from the Butcher army. He sees Quackity taking the spotlight and he feels like he's left in the shadows. Dream finds him alone one day and asks what's wrong, and Karl explains his situation. Dream says that Karl could side with him in exchange for protection and resources. Dream would also train Karl in PvP so he could protect himself. Karl is hesitant, explaining why he still wants to stay in El Rapids. He can't leave his friends. Dream agrees, but he says to Karl that he has to stay loyal to him and give him information from El Rapids' side. Karl then turns into a traitor spy. You may be asking yourself, well, why would Karl go straight to Dream? They have fought. Well, Karl has already been loyal to Dream in the past. When Eric said he was going to betray Dream SMP during the war and side with Lemamberg, Karl told Dream and Dream dethroned Eric. If you think about it, this is what really set everything into motion. The dethroning, the exile, the rise of Mexican Lemamberg, the fight in the Holy Lands, and now El Rapids. Karl is the cause of all of this. After a while of Karl spying and then reporting to Dream, Quackity finds out. Quackity feels betrayed and confronts him and Dream. Dream orders Karl to kill Quackity, taking his last canon life. Bonus if Quackity comes back as a ghost, and all he knows is getting revenge on Karl. He has memory loss like Ghost Burr, but he isn't friendly. He's more revenge-driven. He doesn't remember that they were friends, he just knows Karl is bad. I know a lot of people think that Karl is only a tour guide and a funny guy who wants to be in animatics, but I hope I shed some light on the true character and true potential he has. I really feel like Karl could be a great antagonist with Dream, but that's just my opinion. Okay.
Iつだろう